you wanted the best, you've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hey folks, this is Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There, things that makes it official. Welcome to the big show. As always, for 16 years, we just hit the mark, 16 years here in August, over 2,000 episodes. We've been bringing you the Chris Voss Show, and we appreciate you guys always being here. Refer the show to your family, friends, and relatives. Guilt and shame them into subscribing, if you would, please. No, don't do that. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, linkedin.com/Chris Voss. Chris Voss, one of the TikTok and all those crazy places on the internet you can find us on. We have an amazing young lady on the show with us today. We're going to be talking to her about her hot new book with her and her sister that has just come out, and they're very popular on the social media. I think on the gram, as the kids call it, the gram.
Gram.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the 80s, we called something else a gram, but we won't get into that. Anyway, there you go. They're the authors of the latest book that comes out August 27th, 2024, The Astrology Advantage. Use your horoscope for personal and professional success. We have Ophira Edut on the show with us, and her sister Tali was also the co-author of the book, the AstroTwins, as they are known. Welcome to the show, Edut. How are you?
So many vowels, so little time. Hello. I'm representing for a twin, too, you know?
There you go.
Keep track of.
At least we know what the other one looks like. That's
right.
Are you guys fraternal twins? Or
no, we're identical. 4
identical
minutes apart.
twins.
Yeah.
There you go. So, Ophira, give us .coms. Where do you want people to find you on the interwebs?
Yes, astrostyle.com. That's our website. And AstroTwins on Instagram and Twitter with a little thingy after it. You'll find us.
There you go. You guys have quite the following. I think it's 150,000 plus on the gram there.
We do.
There you go. And you kept your clothes on for it. You just did astrology.
Yes, nobody knows if I did or not, but
okay. There's a lot of people with their clothes off over there.
You will not find us on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
For now, the astrology business is paying the bills, so we haven't had to go there yet.
There you go. That's good. So hopefully this book is a good success there. There you go. My OnlyFans, by the way, folks, is .onlyfans.com/ no one wants to see that. Anyway, so Ophira, give us a 30,000 overview. What's in your new book?
Okay, it is basically astrology for non-astrologers because, as you may know, it's because like it or not, believe in it or not. I don't think you have to believe in it. It's a tool, but it's become a phenomenon. It's always been there, but the last 5 years with apps and the pandemic and people having a lot of time on their hands and everybody needing to figure out who the hell they are, it's just kind of exploded. So all these people started doing their whole birth charts, but getting overwhelmed and confused. So we took the whole chart and crunched it into one of 3 archetypes. I am. It's either innovator, authority, or maven. So you can tap into your whole astrological blueprint without having to become an astrologer, a wizard, a hermit, or even feel strange talking about it to your friends.
So innovator, authority, or maven. I am.
Yep.
And when you're kind of core in one of those 3 segments.
You want me to tell you what they mean and how they work?
Yeah, please do.
Yeah. How familiar are you with astrology, or are you at all?
I've seen these stars. They're up in the sky.
We know you're an Aquarius.
Oh, they're pretty, yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty. They're
Stars are pretty.
There's an age named after your sign. Yeah. I mean, you have to have a sense of humor about this stuff. You really do.
That's true.
However,
I am an Aquarius.
You are?
Yeah.
Yes, you are. You're actually a double Aquarius. An Aquarius.
I'm double Aquarius?
Yeah.
That explains
Aquarius
why I pee so
rising.
much. I'm full of water.
You're the water bearer, always emptying the jug.
56 at night. That really comes out.
What a time to be an Aquarius, for sure.
Yeah, double Aquarius. I didn't know I was a double Aquarius.
You're a
That mean
double.
I'm twice as bad with all my bad traits?
Yeah, it means you're just twice as rebellious and countercultural and, rabble-rousing.
What makes me the double? What's the feature set that qualifies me as a double?
That's exactly a great question. And this is why we created the IM system, because you'll probably promptly forget this. But in astrology, basically what it is, it's not about the constellation positions. Your birth chart is, imagine you being born, looking up at the sky, taking a screenshot of the arrangement of the planets overhead where you were on your birth. In relation to you, map is your birth chart. And there's 13 key facets in it, all the planets, and then there's your moon and rising signs. The moon is like the inner you, the rising signs like the outer you. So you are an Aquarius with an Aquarius rising and a Sagittarius moon. So what that would say to me as an astrologer is that you come across as who you are. You are who you are. You don't try to hide it. Yeah. And then on the inside, you're seeking knowledge and truth and all the great understandings of the world as a Sag moon would. Does that track?
True. That's why we have the podcast. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And then so that all aside, the IM system takes those 13 points and shows what you're dominant in, which is either innovator, meaning you have the majority of them in signs that start every season. So you can be a trailblazer, a visionary, a pioneer, starting things. An authority, who's kind of probably your producer on your show. They're the ones who want to follow the rules and, have everything organized. Yes.
Not doing rules.
No rules. Yeah. And then the mavens are the people who bring everyone together, the commentators on culture, the kind of like naughty children forever who are fun to be around. That's what you are.
Oh, I am? I'm a maven?
Yeah, you're a maven.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, that probably sounds like me. Albert Einstein, Drew Barrymore, Thomas Edison, and Sarah Jessica Parker. Boy, those are 4 names that 2 don't really...
Listen,
we
Elon
went from Thomas
Musk.
Edison and Albert Einstein to Sarah Jessica Parker.
I know it's quite a range, but there's common traits among them, if you can believe it.
Hey.
Maybe E does not equal MC squared on Sex in the City, but
that might be the people who established the light bulb and the people who just we're doing Sex in the City. That might be 2 different. But no, I imagine she's an entertainer, and she technically does that as an actress.
And she has a book club, and I think, or who doesn't? But I mean, or at least she's always reading. Mavens are interested in a lot of different ideas, and they're very experimental. And I think how she is with fashion expresses a more external maven quality, whereas Einstein, look at his hair. He could have been on Sex in the City.
The man was a fashion god.
He was in his own right.
One of my girlfriends used to give me crap about how messy my desk was, and then I showed her how messy Einstein's desk was.
Interestingly, we have a phenomenon in the book called the Maven mess. And there are actually 3 different workspace layouts. The innovators, which is what I am, will have a desk that they never sit at, and then they'll satellite out. Why don't we give people just the opportunity to find out what they are too? If they go to astrostyle.com/IAM, plug in your time, date, and place of birth. If you don't know the time, do your best guess, and it'll tell you which one you are. You could also be a hybrid. So, because, the joy of astrology is it gets to be all about you.
Well, there you go. I like it. So it sounds I'm one of the 3 archetypes of that thing, and your book tells me how to maybe fulfill that archetype better, understand what my my weaknesses are. Is procrastination one of the problems that I have?
Yes. I'll tell you what each of the archetypes deals with time differently. So the innovator lives in the future. They can be, they go off into the clouds, they come up with an idea, and then they download it and introduce it. The authorities are very linear. They're the ones who are probably micromanaging you, scolding you for not being on time, wanting to stick to a meeting agenda. And the mavens live in the present. So they're the everything, everywhere, all at once people. That's why they have the Maven mess. They're working on multiple projects. Those piles that your girlfriend hated on you for all meant something to you.
Oh, yeah. I know where
you knew what was in them. Yeah, exactly. So you have your own method, but we have ideas for mavens in the book for how to manage their piles without annoying their girlfriends and, losing access to OnlyFans or whatever.
Yeah. My girlfriend gave me that ultimatum, and it was either the mess and the dogs or it was her. Boy, I'm going to miss her.
Really? Yeah. You are who you are. Look, me. It doesn't sound like you really are, actually.
No. She was, whoever she was that I'm referring to was wonderful. So
wonderful for someone else. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. I always wish them the best. I hope you find what you're looking for.
Yeah. Totally.
And they go, you're never going to find someone like me. And I'm like, that's the fucking point. Anyway.
Right.
What about, this brings up a great point. I run some big dating groups for singles, several thousands of people in them, and host events every week. So, yeah, we'll probably be sharing this show with them. What about dating? And, how, is there really truth to that whole, if I'm an Aquarius, then there's only certain signs that I might get along with, and then which sign would have the hottest sex?
Scorpio likes to think they will, but
Really?
You know what? I mean...
The Scorpios are crazy.
I've tried them all except for Gemini. Each one has their own unique way. So we have a book called How to Get Along with Anyone. Yes, even that person. And I recommend it for the daters out there because there are 7 possible angles. Not the ones you're thinking of, but there's a lot more than that.
7 angles.
But between the zodiac signs, so the distance between your sign and the other one will impact like whether it's a friction. I'm just going to make all the double entendres I can, but it will determine whether it's a friction-filled connection or one that is harmonious and easy. But those easy ones can be really boring. So you'll be told to date someone that you get along with, but then where's the excitement? Especially if you're an Aquarius who likes to be challenged. You don't want someone you just get along with. How boring.
Yeah. For some reason, Scorpios have a thing. Like I know when I'm in the presence of a Scorpio.
Oh yeah.
Like I have a whole attunement to it, and I'm just like, you're a Scorpio, huh? Yeah. How'd you know?
Yeah. Interestingly, the angle between Aquarius and Scorpio is one that's called a square. It's a 90-degree angle, and it is an angle of tension. So it's this tension of the power couple where you're like, ooh, these two are something else. You feel that with them. So.
I actually can. Yeah, I pick up on it.
And I know this.
I want to climb all over this person. Clearly, they're a fucking Scorpio. Why are most of the singles that I find that are women are Scorpios? Why is that? There are so many of them in the dating market. I swear to God, Scorpios outpopulate any other sign in the dating market.
They are, each sign has I'd love to do a study on that one. And by the way, I know that some of this may sound outrageous, and it did to me too. I found astrology by accident. I was at the University of Michigan studying design. So I had no intention of doing this. But as I started, I've literally observed thousands of people. So this is based on that, that quote unquote data. So Scorpios, they're very alpha. They're ruled by Mars, which is a sign of, which is this very masculine yang sign, and Pluto, which will burn your house down and drag you to the underworld. So people are a little bit afraid of them.
Wow.
And that's,
all my
it takes a special someone to handle the Scorpio woman, maybe an Aquarius man.
I don't know. This explains my first 10 divorces, though. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How'd you get into it? You alluded to a little bit of it, but you and your sister obviously grew up as twins. I would hope so.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. We did.
Start out that way, end that way, I think. How did you both get into this, and when did it kind of become a thing for you?
Yeah, it was we grew up in Detroit in a home where everybody spoke a different language, immigrant central. So I think we were always trying to look for a little bit of a universal language. We had our own language, and we've always, as a twin, you're always in this sort of symbiotic relationship. You're constantly being asked, what's the difference between you two? So you become a student of what makes people unique, starting with yourself, but you're in this paradoxical relationship with having to figure out your uniqueness, but also being part of a unit. But I really think that that's one of the biggest problems that the world is trying to solve. How can we stand out but still coexist? How can we have our individuality and our opinions without polarizing? So accidentally, became experienced in that. And fast forward, I was in college. My boyfriend at the time did my whole birth chart for me. He got it done at a bookstore. This was the 90s, early internet days. And I got this whole report that I felt like I'd been spied on because I was like, how does this know this much about me? And got a little software to do other people's, because I got to test this out. How the hell did this thing actually know this much about me? And started doing all of our friends. My sister and I have photographic memories, so we quickly memorized what we learned and became accidental oracles. We're given a magazine column back in the early 2000s at Teen People magazine. And then just went off on a book writing tear. This is our 21st book, actually.
Oh, really? So. Congratulations.
Thank you.
There you go.
Old enough to buy alcohol. The book.
There you go.
I don't know.
And you've amassed tons of followers across social media. Now, this is billed as Atomic Habits meets Enneagram? This is
the Enneagram, yes.
Enneagram.
Yes.
I think they did that on my colon yesterday. No, I don't. What is an Enneagram?
The Enneagram, it's one of those personality typing things like Myers-Briggs, where you take a quiz and then you are one of 9 types in the case of the Enneagram, 16 in the case of Myers-Briggs. So we basically applied put in all the data and you get one type to remember, one archetype for yourself versus this whole diffuse world of astrology and all your planets and moons and this and that nobody can remember. Atomic Habits thing is because it's very practical and applied. Once you find your I am type, you can know how to date, what kind of relationship, parenting, career, team building, communication. It immediately shows you how to use it. Yeah. That was the idea of it.
There you go. Enneagram. I've learned a new word today.
Yeah, I think it didn't hurt.
I would assume that was some sort of device they use at the Church of Scientology to put on people. But
it does sound like that, doesn't it? What was that device called that they used to do?
I'm getting text messages of cease and desist orders. There you go.
Tom Cruise is about to descend from a building onto your podcast studio.
That's okay. I'm like 6'2", so I can crush him.
You can take him. Yeah.
Yeah. He's, I don't know, what is he? 2 feet, 2.5? He's a little guy.
5'2", yeah.
Yeah. I'll just kind of flick him away like a fly. Anyway. Then I'll steal his goal. So anyway, what's with the rage at Tom Cruise today, Chris? Who hurt you on the Tom Cruise dolly? You've established the 3 different variations. People can read the book. What else is the book that we maybe haven't touched on?
Let's talk about dating with the I am archetypes, since that seems to be a topic of interest. So it's very good to know what your relationship style is, because the book is really meant to be an antidote to this one-size-fits-all advice that we get all the time. So if you are an innovator, we renamed the idealist or the independent. So I think, a lot of people aren't even dating now because they feel like they have to go down this path to this so-called prescription of happily ever after that some of them don't even want. I think the authorities do because they're very traditional and linear. My stepdaughter is an authority. She's already engaged at 24 years old to her boyfriend, from high school. But they're both heavily authorities in the IM systems. It'll work for as long as it works, but they're happy with 2 dogs and an apartment in Washington, D.C. and going to wineries, like, which is something that I don't even do. And I'm, twice their age, or more. Mm-hmm. But the innovator, idealist, or probably should never live with someone like Ben Affleck, for example. He's an innovator. And I think the biggest mistake he made of many, but besides the Phoenix tattoo, is
I haven't seen that. So.
He got a full back tattoo during his sad Ben Affleck era after divorcing the other Jennifer. But he should not have moved in with her. Innovators do not do well living with their partners. So if you're an innovator,
I might be half an innovator.
You're pretty high on innovator, actually.
I like keeping separate residences, especially at my age. Just you stay over there and I'll visit.
Yeah. That's kind of your Aquarian style too. But
plus they want to complain about the piles of
it's the mess. The mavens do like to have someone though to talk to. You do like to have someone around at the end of the day. The innovator wants to go into their zone and hermit out. The authority wants to pass the salt and pepper around the dinner table and go to bed at 9 watching a show together. And the maven
Kill me now.
Exactly. The maven wants to stay up all night, do karaoke, maybe read books or listen. They are interactive and they do like to have a partner in crime and a playmate. The maven is the mirror in relationships. So in the book, you can find out what your style of relationship is so that you can try to the problem with dating is that people trying to start at the same place. Don't we all want the same thing at the end of this? No, we don't. So start by knowing thyself. And look, I'm never going to live with you, but I will leave toiletries at your house, okay? Can you live with that?
I don't know about that either. I don't like that. There's always women, whenever they come to your home, they always leave something behind. You're like, how did you leave here without your underwear?
Yeah. That's all your fault, I think.
Yeah. And then you find stuff hidden everywhere, and you're like, oh, I see what's up.
Yeah. She left a razor.
She left lipstick in the car under the seat.
It's a plant. Yep. Is there a camera in this? Yeah.
Yeah, we know what's going on. People can read the book. They can figure out their relationships. They can figure out what their archetype is. They can try and figure out how to best, motivate themselves, game themselves, do what they need to do. Lead, all that good stuff.
Yeah, build teams. Because you talk to CEOs a lot too and executives, and we have a lot of clients like that who are using this. So it can be used from dating to that. I'm curious, what are some of the things that you hear about as a common thing that people get tripped up on? For
dating or for astrology or?
No, not astrology. For dating or for work and leadership.
I don't know. When it comes to astrology, I don't know because I don't know.
Not astrology. Take the astrology out. That's my part. I'll do that part. Okay. Just what are they talking to you as a maven about that? What are they complaining about? What are they grappling with that you hear over and over again?
Gen Z workers or the lack of Gen Z workers and the work ethic. That seems to be a big one. Yeah. But they're not adapting well to work.
They're definitely not adapting well to the Gen X style of work. It's true.
That's true. Yeah.
But they are actually fully versed in astrology, that generation.
That might explain some things.
They're spending all their time doing charts instead of doing work.
On their phone all the damn time. But no, we won't quit picking on the Gen Zers. But I think it's an interesting thing people do. They can go on your website too, I notice, and they can fill out the quiz, the I Am quiz.
They can.
So they can do that as well. What are some of the services that you guys offer on your websites for coaching or consulting? Tell us about that.
Thank you. Yes, we do birth chart readings selectively. Those fill up pretty quickly, but we also will be doing some personal branding with astrology with the I Am system workshops this fall. We go into the depths of astrology. We have a course called Become Your Own Astrologer that we just finished. We're going to do that again next year. And then, coaching, figuring out how to build a platform, build a brand, because you have to do that no matter what generation you are now.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
So how can people reach out to you? How can they handshake on finding out, working together with you for coaching, et cetera, et cetera?
You can find it all at astrostyle.com. Send us a DM from Instagram, AstroTwins. And yeah, we have all our books there too. We have a few dating and love books and yearly horoscope guides. And then the Astrology Advantage, our new book, which is how to use your horoscope for personal and professional success.
There you go. Any predictions on the upcoming presidential debates? Do you guys, is there anything in the stars that are telling us who might win?
Oh my gosh. It is the middle of the month, and this month is so explosive in the stars. It's all your fault too, because this Aquarius full moon on August 19th, the beginning of the DNC, is such an insane day. If you can read about it on AstroStyle. Read your monthly horoscope because we wrote all about it. There's lots of unpredictable things going on.
There you go. It certainly seems like that's like
I mean, it does, yeah.
It's going so far. We're like, one guy's in, one guy's out, another guy is in, another guy's out.
Gosh.
I don't know. It's going to be kind of weird, so we'll see what happens. Thank you very much for coming to the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on. And I hope that your dating groups also, like, we got lots. Astrology can be very helpful for that.
Sick it on them and let them play with it. And I'm sure they'll love it. They're always trying to figure out how to shortcut dating.
Who could blame them? I mean, it's a hellscape to go even take 1 foot. I call it astrology dating insurance. So.
Dating insurance. There you go. Somebody should sell dating insurance. You can get your money back if your first date's a bust or they show up and they don't look like their pictures.
Be $1 trillion deficit in no time, but
That's true,
I can't agree more.
That's true. Who lied? I'm just gonna put lie detectors at first dates. I think that's what we're gonna do.
Oh my God.
You have to get all wrapped up in the lie detector thing and have your hands in the dealio.
I mean, but in all seriousness, this is why we do what we do. Not to sound like I'm saving the world, but I'm not, because people are their own biggest blind spots. They do not know how to introduce themselves. They do not know how to get past that first phase and be authentic and genuine without either scaring people away with their quirks or being really boring and not being seen and being overlooked. So that's one of the best. It's one of the reasons that astrology stuck with me, because I was like, oh my God, I can actually network now without being gross and leaving a trail of slime. I can freely introduce myself and have something to talk about, not in a weird, hey baby, what's your sign way, but just like anything. To me, it's the ultimate icebreaker. It's fun. And but then again, so is taking your clothes off, I guess, if you're, you.
Yeah, I have that now. No, I don't.
Right, people breaks ice. Breaks
people
a
are
lot
listening to the show going, what the fuck? No, I'm really clothed, people. Go watch the YouTube video. Anyway, thank you very much for coming to the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And give us the .coms one of those times we go out.
astrostyle.com and AstroTwins on Instagram and Twitter.
There you go. You guys need your own movie, AstroTwins.
Right.
It might be
coming soon to a theater or YouTube near you.
What was that? Power Rangers? Go Power Rangers.
That's right.
They would activate. You could do the same thing. Go AstroTwins.
The Wonder Twins. Yeah. San and Jaina. Activate.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you very much for coming to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss. Chris Voss, one of the TikTokity and all those crazy places on the internet. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you next time.